When Five Nights at Freddy's first released, it was a huge and influential game, with fan media like Tony Kryknight and the 1/6 NAS models, but one of the most important ones of all is the Living Tombstone. Now, if you somehow don't know who the Living Tombstone are, they're an indie rock band who blew up because they made the first ever FNaF fan song. And I mean, this is like the FNaF fan song. And like I kind of talked about, they're a very essential part of the FNaF fandom. But to get to when they started making Five Nights at Freddy's songs, we first have to start from the beginning of their channel. So, the Living Tombstone started back in 2012 by Yoav Londo, I don't know exactly how you say his last name. Now, whether you choose to believe it or not, most of their earliest songs were either remixes or My Little Pony songs. Yeah, no, seriously, most of their early songs were My Little Pony fan songs. Yeah, I don't know what Yoav's obsession with My Little Pony songs was, but there sure were a lot of them in the early days. And I mean a lot of My Little Pony songs. And I'm for real with My Little Pony, but this is just not what you'd expect, honestly. Now, their early songs before the FNaF 1 song aren't really that infamous or well known. The only one that's like really like iconic or popular is, I'd say, Discord. I'll admit though, I've never really honestly liked this song all that much. One of my personal favorite pieces of theirs before FNaF is Jumping Devil. I mean, it has a very interesting message it's trying to convey with the song. Wait, I just realized, how did I forget to talk about the Spooky Scary Skeletons remix when I was talking about their most iconic songs before FNaF? Also, something kind of random, but I just want to point it out, is how during these times, before they had like the skull mascot, you know, like the orange skull, their mascot was like an actual living tombstone. Like, it's a tombstone with arms and legs and headphones. But anyways, soon along the line, FNaF 1 released. And when FNaF 1 came out, this was obviously the huge thing everyone was talking about. All the Let's Players were playing it, and yeah, it was just a huge success of a game. And people were just quick to start making fan media about the franchise, and obviously the main subject of this video, the FNaF 1 song, which crazily released only 23 days after FNaF 1 came out. And now, Yoav could have gone the normal route and made the song from the Night Guard's perspective, maybe about him like getting through the night and stuff, you know. But no, actually, the song is being sung by the kids possessing the animatronics. It's a song about them being misunderstood and mistaken for monsters, which is very creative, actually. I mean, I don't know how they managed to pull off such a creative song when the game was only 23 days old. Especially when you think about the fact that the only like actual lore in the first game is the 4 newspaper articles that appear randomly. Another interesting thing I want to point out by this song is, obviously, like I kind of talked about already, the lyrics are meant to be more sad lyrics, but then there's this really upbeat tone to the song which just like completely like redirects it. And the thing is, this song would later go on to become official, but we'll get to that later. Now, I gotta admit, personally, this is my favorite Living Tombstone FNaF song, and yes, I know that's definitely not most people's first picks, but it's just mine, honestly. I do think this is personally the best of all their songs. Anyways, this would go on to be like such a huge song for their channel, and it's obviously the most popular one by today, with it having 413 million views. And this is the song that they became known because of. So let's see what happened when they released their next FNaF song. Now, coincidentally, or maybe not coincidentally, it's been so long, the song also released 23 days apart from the release of FNaF 2. And despite them making their first FNaF song not too long ago, they did not slip up on this one. If anything, this song is more creative than the FNaF 1 song. It's not from the perspective of the animatronics, and it's not from the perspective of the Night Guard. It's from the perspective of Miss Afton grieving about the loss of her son, Evan Afton. This one is also so much more visually creative looking, with it's supposed to be like these 8-bit graphics inside of an arcade machine. Now, I know for most fans, this is their favorite FNaF Living Tombstone song, but like I said earlier, my favorite is the FNaF 1 song, although this one is definitely second. My favorite aspect of this song is generally the music. I mean, especially like the instrumental breakbeat. I will say though, I do wish it did play more than once throughout the song. Also, this song has my personal favorite visuals. Another thing I just thought I'd mention is how everyone refers to this song as It's Been So Long, but the original title of the song was actually the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 song. The Living Tombstone would actually refer to it as It's Been So Long later, but we're not going to get to that yet. But yeah, like I said earlier, this is just a strong follow-up to the first FNaF song that they did not slip up on. And they did it better in a lot of aspects. Anyways, let's take a look at the next song. Now, I didn't talk about the gap between the FNaF 2 song and the FNaF 1 song, which is because, well, nothing really happened and only 2 songs released, which is the same with the gap between the FNaF 2 song and Die in a Fire, which that song is also called the FNaF 3 song. Anyways, let's talk about the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 song. Now, this one does have the most distance in time from the game it's based on, with it being releasing 53 days after FNaF 3. This song I honestly don't enjoy much as the FNaF 1 song and It's Been So Long. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a good song. I mean, I think the chorus is exceptionally good, but I don't know. I guess it's just like many of the main verses that don't stick with me as much. Although, you cannot down on the visuals of this song. I'm not going to get into the history of the 1/6 NES models, but if you know, you know. But, you know, they were just becoming popular around this time, and Living Tombstone just wanted to capitalize on that, I guess. And don't get me wrong, it is definitely very funny to see, and I do like the animation though, I should say. It's kind of just funny to think about how this song is going to be official next year, you know, with the FNaF 3 movie. But you can't down on the chorus, like that upbeat tone with William swinging the axe back and forth, you know. Yeah, like I said, I don't like this song as much as the previous 2, but it's still top 4 for me. Now, after that, we got some instrumentals for the first 3 FNaF songs, which, I mean, you know, nothing all too interesting, but it's good to have it at least. They also started doing this thing during this time where there's these like red and blue songs, so the blue version is like the normal version of the song, but then there's the red version, which is like a remix version of it, which I'll elaborate on something related to FNaF later with this. Anyways, I Got No Time. Now, I know I said It's Been So Long was my favorite FNaF Living Tombstone song, but not gonna lie, I Got No Time is actually my real second favorite. I always prefer the more robotic sounding voices over the more human ones. I mean, this one definitely has the likeness of the FNaF 1 song. Obviously there's the similar visuals, the robotic voices I talked about. There's even one part of the song where it uses a beat similar to the FNaF 1 song. Now, obviously, as in the story of the song, it's definitely the most least interesting one. It's a lot more about survival, like more than something more lore deep like the other songs. Actually, I'm kind of wrong about that because it does have a lot of lore-based lyrics of the song, especially in the second verse, but for the most part, it's really just about the crying child trying to survive. Also, is it just me, or does this song give off, like, 80s types of vibes to anyone else? Because it does for me. I think it's like the instrumental break with the 80s styles lights, and also this like the whole footage quality of like the video you're seeing right now. Yeah, something about the video is just another reason why this is my second favorite. Now, I don't have much else to say about the song, so let's just get on to the next transition. I have like actually nothing to say between the time from the next song, but they did release an instrumental version for I Got No Time, but anyways, then after that there was I Can't Fix You. Out of the main 5 FNaF Living Tombstone songs, I definitely feel that this one is probably the most unique, mainly because it's the most energetic one. It's also much more fast-paced, and there's a bunch of dubstep in the song. I know that for a lot of my friends, this is their favorite from the Living Tombstone's FNaF songs, mainly because of just how hard it goes, which I do agree with that, but this is my least favorite of the first 5, honestly. This one also has my favorite lyrics out of all the FNaF Living Tombstone songs. I just love like the message about, or message isn't the right word, but you get the whole thing about not being good enough, and also the carnage, which I think is very well portrayed by this music video, because it shows them like tearing themselves apart to build Ennard. I especially love all of like the electricity, and the fire, and the broken limbs everywhere. The visuals are very intense, and I definitely love it for that. I'm just now realizing how much I'm glazing the visuals of this song, but I just have a lot of good things to say about it, you know? Now, I was talking about the dubstep, which that is something I honestly really don't like much about this song. I mean, I do appreciate dubstep, but the fact that there's just too much of it, it just kind of makes the song feel less serious, if you get what I mean. Also, is it just me, or does the credits with Ennard stabbing Michael used to creep anyone else out? Because it certainly did for me. I mean, this song was definitely not a letdown though, and, you know, still another good addition for the FNaF's Living Tombstone's FNaF songs. Now, obviously at this point, the Living Tombstone had managed to keep up a good streak of making a song for all of the current FNaF games, except for, you know, FNaF World, but that's not a mainline game, so it doesn't matter. And so obviously, we were all expecting there to be a Pizzeria Simulator song, but there just never was. The next FNaF song they made came out 5 years later, and during this time is definitely when the Living Tombstone changed the most. I should also mention, during this time they did release an instrumental version for I Can't Fix You, but come on, that's nothing. This is also when they started to dive into more other indie game franchises, like they did Tattletale, Bendy and the Ink Machine, Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion, Cuphead, and the most well-known of them all, Basics in Behavior from Baldi's Basics. Now, this brings me back to what I was gonna say about the Red and Blue songs. I was basically trying to think about what it would be like if there was a Red and Blue song for one of the FNaF songs. For which one it should go to, I really don't know. As long as it's not I Can't Fix You, because that song is already sounds like enough of a remix on its own. But anyways, after this point is when the Living Tombstone definitely changed the most. This is when new members joined along, and they also introduced the Tombsonas, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's their glowing skeleton sonas. 01, Rust, Armstrong, Tesla, and Doc. My favorite is 01 if you ask me. I should also mention how they dropped the literal Living Tombstone mascot in favor for 01. And I just love these characters, the designs, the personalities, everything about them. So yeah, this was definitely a big change for their channel. And then, soon after, they finally released a new FNaF song. This comes from Inside. This song is definitely the most unique of all Living Tombstone's FNaF songs, by a long shot. Now, obviously, there is the security breach visuals of the song, and also that it was the newest game at the time, but it's not even about security breach. It's about the state of the fandom. The fandom, obviously, is not how it used to be back in the early days of FNaF, and granted, it's much worse now. The fandom just destroyed itself by being toxic, and all the heat placed on Scott Cawthon, which is represented by the "You Set Fire to the Kingdom" line. I've obviously got to mention the throwback part of the song. This part of the song is meant to make you feel nostalgic for the early days of FNaF, when the fandom wasn't, well, how it is today, and the franchise was so much smaller. The voice from the FNaF 1 song is even featured in this part.
Long time ago it was all for a show, fill our ones with a pound of salt.
This is without a doubt my favorite part of the song. This song definitely got a lot of mixed reactions, to say the least, as basically any piece of FNaF media does. Personally, I think this is a great song, and definitely the most creative of them all. A lot of people also disliked it mainly because it's more sentimental, more rather than more upbeat than the other songs, which I get and I can agree with, but like that's kind of the point of the song though. It's meant to be a sentimental and nostalgic song. I also can't go without mentioning the visuals. Now, obviously, the visuals are a massive step up from the previous songs, but what I favor most about it are the comic style, is the comic style part of the song. Now, the comic style ending cutscenes are definitely one of the hated parts of the games, but I don't know. I personally really like it, honestly. They're trying a different style, and I like that. This song just goes to show how different and controversial the community is and the series as a whole compared to the way it originally was. But at the end of the day, it's still FNaF, the game we all know and love and will never stop loving. No matter how many ups and downs this franchise has, it will always be in our hearts. Man, that felt like a great way to end the video. But it's not over yet because we've still got more songs to talk about. Okay, so these next few songs, I'm just gonna go through without like giving a break between each of them, so let's just get into it. It's not often I prefer a remix of a song over the original, but with the Living Tombstone's Joints for a Bite, it's an exception. And it's kind of funny to think about how their previous song was such a sentimental one compared to this really upbeat one, especially that one was only like a year ago. This is also a very visually fun song. It's got a lot of fun jokes spread throughout it, especially there's one part where Funtime Fox is doing the Burger King dance. I honestly don't have much else to say about this song, it's just a fun remix. Also, irrelevant to this song, or I mean, it has something to do with Sister Location, but basically, there's a cover for This Comes From Inside that is like the same cover of It's I Can't Fix You, but just with like more fire and actually no, it's more lightning. Okay, now on to the next song. The Five Nights at Freddy's Goth remix was for some reason unlisted, which is quite a shame because this is my favorite remix of the FNaF 1 song. I'm pretty emo, I can't lie, so I'm very glad this song exists. I also love everyone's makeup in this video, especially the Foxy makeup. Yeah, I love this remix, honestly. Hopefully this comes back to the channel someday. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention, the FNaF 1 song was featured in the credits for the FNaF movie. I remember how happy I was when I heard this at the end of the movie. It's also just very cool to think about how this song that was made by one guy in his bedroom ended up in the credits of the FNaF movie. Now that brings us to the next remix. The FNaF 10th Anniversary Orchestra Special. It's crazy to believe that this is even real. It's always funny to me when a bunch of high-class serious people have to do something representing kids media. Like that time when a bunch of soldiers assembled to create Peppa Pig's head. Also, the woman singing is just giving off such "what am I reading" type of vibes. Yeah, like I said, it's just funny and kind of crazy how they got all these professionals to sing a song about FNaF. Now we're on to the final song, which it was only about a year until they released Step On Up. I gotta be honest, out of all the main FNaF Living Tombstone songs, this one's definitely my least favorite. And I definitely don't think it's bad or anything. I mean, it's got some good parts to it, but it's just, I mean, I guess it's made just because of the fact that it's not like lore, it's like not like a lore song or anything. It's purely just about Monty wanting to be a part of the band and killing everyone. And I guess that is kind of the point of this song, that it's supposed to be something not lore heavy, but I don't know. Also, when this song was first teased, I genuinely thought it was called Under Construction. This song is also the shortest out of all the main songs, which, I mean, the end of the song did kind of leave me feeling like, wait, what? That's it? I mean, it just doesn't seem normal for one of the FNaF Living Tombstone songs to end, like, just suddenly. This definitely seems to be a hot take, though, because everyone else seems to really like this song. An instant classic, as said by CG5. I mean, I really like the visuals, honestly, especially like that drawn out style that it kind of has. Yeah, they really stepped up the animation when it came to This Comes From Inside and Step On Up. I have downed on this song a lot more than I did with the other ones, but I still do like this song. And whatever the Living Tombstone's next FNaF song may be, I can't wait for it. So that's all the Living Tombstone's FNaF songs. I'm not fully done talking in this video though, because there are a few other things I want to talk about, like YouTube's plushies. They're very fun and creative designs. I mean, they're like the 5 main band members, but obviously they're based off the 5 main animatronics of FNaF 1. And sadly, no, I don't have any of these. I don't usually buy limited stuff, to be honest, but I really do wish I had one of these. Something else I definitely need to touch on are the concerts. These concerts just go to show how far they've come, and it's really cool to see. I really hope I can go to one of these this day because they look so awesome. Yoav and Sam are literally doing the purple guy dance during one part of the It's Been So Long performance. There's also the shorts, but I'm not gonna get into those.
Your baby crying. I'll make them stop. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go sleep, little boy.
So yeah, I just thought I'd do a little look back on all the Living Tombstone's FNaF songs. I love this band and I love their FNaF songs. I definitely prefer the original version of the band, mainly just because those are like the OG, like the classic songs. But I mean, the newer version is cool too. Like I said, I do like the new characters. But yeah, thanks for watching. I know it's been like 3 weeks since my last upload, which I'm sorry about. I'm trying to get to optimize working on these videos more because sometimes I just don't have time to work on it, honestly. But yeah, next video, nostalgic FNaF videos from my childhood. I'll see you guys next time.